Hey there. Well, today I come out here. I've got a sucker that came from an older tree out front, unknown variety. I pulled quite a few suckers from around that tree, and I planted them all out here last year, and as you can see, it's woke up. It's alive. Now, these suckers are not going to be able to produce with one another, so what I have to do is figure out some grafting. And the grafting that I intend to do is of different varieties. I've got NC1, overleaf, mango, and sunflower. I'm mostly going to put overleaf and NC1 out here. And with all these suckers coming from the same tree, they're not going to be able to produce. So I have no choice but to graft. And I mean, it's a fun thing for me personally to do. I enjoy doing things out of the ordinary, as far as possibly out of my comfort zone, if you want to say it that way. And what I'm going to do is cut a piece of this NC1 scion wood and graft it into this. Now I'm only going to use 2 buds. I've found that 2 buds work the best for me with the ones I've done in the house. Let me turn this stool around so you can get a better look at what I'm doing. Set these to the side. Nice cool day to be out here. The sun ain't shining. I ain't got to worry about burning these up. Got a clipboard here. Now the type grafting I'm going to do with these out here is cleft graft. Being that it's so close to the ground, I tried to do a tongue and whip on one. I got it done, but boy, that was a little bit of a job, because you got to get down here and you just got to watch what you're doing. But anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my snips out here. Nice handy little tool. These are small. They're very decent as far as what it is you want to do. If I want to come in here and snip back a little bit, I can do that with these right here. Nice little tool to have. But I'm going to try and figure out where I want to cut this at to where it's going to fit. Let's take it down here. Got a little discoloration going on there. Go down here a little further. That's a little better. Turn that around. Now I notice whenever I cut with that, this side right here being flat, it mashes down on the scion. That's okay, I'm going to cut that away anyhow. Set this down here to the side, close it up. Now I'm going to take a look here. Those are roughly the same size. Now what I'm going to do is set this, hang on to that. I'm going to clean that cut up a little bit. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut go straight down the middle of it. Take it this way. I'm just going to rock it back and forth. Try to take it down as far as I can. There, come down there to the end of that blade. As far as I can get her down there without slicing through and cutting my finger. Yeah, let's back this up out of here and grab my clipboard. By the way, these were all wiped down. Clipboard was wiped down. My blades, they've been wiped down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut a shim here as narrow as I can. And all I'm doing is I'm chopping down like I've shown with my potted plants. There we go. Put that someplace safe. Out of the way. Now I'll take some parafilm here, and I'm going to wrap this scion up before I try to insert it into that rootstock. Pawpaws. Yeah, I started getting into pawpaws here a couple years ago, and pretty much got myself addicted into working with these little trees. They're fun to work with. They're easy to work with. They're not as finicky as a lot of people seem to think they are. Warm that tape up a little bit. Just use my breath to warm it. Stretch it out. All right, like I said, I'm going to start from the top and work my way down. I'm going to cover up that entire scion. Do one layer across the bud. That way the bud can break through easily. I have one that I grafted earlier this year. That's okay. And I wanted to see what it looked like. It had been grafted for about 2 months. Curiosity, if you will, killed the cat. And I took some of the parafilm out of the way and took the rubber band off to take a look at the wound and see how it fused together. That was a tongue and whip. It fused together very nicely. Now let's just try to get this wedged up in here. Take that blade. And all I want to do is open it up a little bit to where I can get this little wedge that I did fit in there. Put the blade back down for a minute and work this in there. Get it all the way down to the bottom if I can. Make sure they're in there matching up with one another. They say as long as you got one side, touch it. That got her in there good. Now, let's just go ahead and finish wrapping her up. Take it down past the wound. Bring it back up a little bit. There you have it. Now I brought some rubber bands out here, and what I want to do is I want to squeeze that union together just a little bit, and I'm putting a rubber band on the outside because it's easier for me to get that rubber band back off later on. The rubber band will be on there probably about 2-3 months. Maybe 2.5 months. The one that I did take off was about 2.5 months. And I have to say, I looked at that wound, and it's amazing how them heal together like that. That's just amazing that you're able to do things like this, and I'm very, very pleased. What I want to do is I'm going to take the rubber band right down here. I'm not going to wrap it on the scion. I'm going to wrap it on the rootstock. Mind you, I'm stretching that rubber band as I go. I wish I had broader bands, but you know, having that parafilm on there first, I think will be alright. Not to mention, the rubber band being on the outside of that parafilm, it's going to be more willing to decay because it's exposed to the weather. Now let's go ahead and get her tied off. Ah, my fingers ain't too nimble. There we go. Got a hold of it. Go ahead and cut that excess off there. There you go. Feels pretty good out here right now. NC1. You want to know something? I think I'm going to put the tag on the cage. These cages right here are going to protect that pawpaw while it's growing. Wind blowing through here, it'll get up in there, and hopefully the cage will keep it from doing any damage to it while it's trying to grow. I've been grafting, as you all know, wood suckers or root suckers in the house in potted plants, and they've done really well. They've taken off for me really good. Another reason why I put these up here, I got a lot of groundhogs out here, and the groundhogs have came in with a couple of them that I had uncovered and broke them off. Got one over here. I thought, you know what, if it's green, I'm going to graft into it. But when I cut it, it was brown. it killed that little tree, I believe. It was a root sucker. All these root suckers here I'm fixing to graft into, and hopefully they all take off. Whatever ones that don't do good for me, I have others in the house that are grafted that are doing well. I'll just replace it. But that's just one of the things I wanted to share with you. Put that right back over top of that. Now, one thing about these little hoop cages here is I was able to come out here during that heavy freeze we had early this spring and put a bag over top of this, and I was able to protect all these. And that really worked out. So, without further ado, I think what I'm going to do is go to another one and graft it. I've got a brush out here. I got a few flowers. Here after a bit, I'm going to go out here and do my own hand pollination. Anyways, my name's Jim. If you like what you see, subscribe. And don't forget to click on that bell for notifications. Y'all have a God bless day.